Yo, what you lot saying? It's your boy here. Today what I've got for you is a JABA Deep Talks episode for you guys, and today's episode is refueling, something that has been a big controversy in the F1 paddock itself. And yeah, so basically what has been going on is that the F1 strategy group met up a couple of days ago for a meeting with a couple of executives from the FIA. Jean Todt, they met with Jean Todt and Bernie Ecclestone, and they also had a couple of teams as well as a couple of engine suppliers also come in to talk about how they can improve the show in which F is F1. So here's a couple of ideas that they have got that have been implemented for 2016 and 2017, and I quote: "For 2016, free choice of 2 tyre compounds out of the 4 that each team can use during the weekend. For 2017 faster cars, 5 to 6 seconds drop in lap time through aerodynamics rules evolution, wider tyres and reduction of car weight, reintroduction of refueling, maintaining a maximum race fuel allowance, higher revving engines and increased noise, and more aggressive looks. A few other measures have been discussed but require further investigation before they can be implemented. A global reflection on race weekend format, measures that to make starts only activated by the driver without any outside assistance." So the main one that I'm going to be talking about is refueling, and what do I think of this? Seriously? That's one of the ideas. Terrible. I'm just going to put it out there. Terrible. Why? Because are we seriously going to go back to the days when this happens? Seriously, it's a terrible idea. For one, it's so dangerous, like you saw from that clip. You know, if there was a crew, if for some wild reason a guy was close or by the McLaren or Ferrari and the flames alight around the side or even at the point, you know, that could have set the guy alight, or even worse, could have set the mechanics alight, which is a terrible thing. You know, it could have even caught it could have caught a lot of race engineers on fire light, which is a really terrible thing, to be honest. And we don't want things like Jos Verstappen's accident in the 90s happening. You know, you got to remember why we got rid of it. It was to improve safety, which right now, or which back then, or even to this day, was a massive important subject, because it was a massive requirement, because, you know, we don't want deaths, we don't want serious injuries, all that kind of stuff. You know, we want to make the sport as safe as possible, but not too safe so that anyone could do it, you know. So in many respects, I think it's a terrible idea. And also, plus, you know, you're asking privatised teams that don't have a lot of money to invest in fuel hoses, in all sorts of fuel things and all that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, it's good. I mean, you can argue it's good as well because it creates more jobs, but I still think it's a bad idea because, you know, like I said, you're adding to the cost. You're adding cost value to the weaker teams, which should not be the case. We should be cost cutting. We should be cost cutting so that teams can survive, so that privatized teams can survive and live longer. So yeah, and plus as well, if this was to be a realistic thing, Pirelli would have to change the way the tyres were designed, because the tyres are not designed to they're not designed to cope with fuel loads. They're not designed to cope with heavy fuel loads to low fuel loads. You know, that kind of stuff. I would say they're designed to degrade. They're designed to wear. They're designed to make the driver slower when it wears, so that other drivers can catch up, so that the racing can be a little bit more intriguing for casual viewers. So yeah, and so I think that's the only realistic way I can see this actually happening, to be honest, if Pirelli changed the way the tyres are designed. Because if they were to be run, if this was to happen on the same set of tyres that they're running at the moment, I don't see it happening. I really do not see it happening. I think it would be a terrible idea because the tyres would degrade, meaning that it would be a massive cluster, because teams would have to do like a 4 or 5 stop strategy because of that. So yeah, I don't see this actually realistically happening with the tyres that they're running so far. If this was to be a realistic thing, they would have to change the way the tyres are designed. So yeah. Another bad point as well is just another bad point is actually no, I don't have any bad points. I mean, that's the only one I've got so far, but I'll talk also about the others as well. Higher revving engines and increased noise, I think that's a good idea. Would really make the sport more intriguing to casual viewers. Would still intrigue the hardcore viewers, because whatever happens, we're still going to watch every single race. So yeah. More aggressive looks, same as what I said for increased noise. Really is going to make the racing. Really is going to make the viewers more intrigued by the looks of the cars. At the same time, the teams making the cars as quick as possible. So that's a bit of a plus. But ultimately, I see it as a bad thing, mostly to refueling, because, like I said, it's dangerous at the moment with the tyres. Don't see it working out, and plus it's a big investment, to be honest. And I don't see this, and as a result, if this was actually to be implemented, the smaller teams would leave. Teams like Sauber, unfortunately, would leave, and the sport would die. So they are pretty much putting their sport in jeopardy, to be honest, because, like I said, the more the teams drop out in Formula One, the more the sport dies. So yeah. They've got to think hard on this one. They've got to think long game on this one, to be honest. So yeah. So that is it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this little episode. This is a really big topic, and yeah. So if you got any thoughts, then leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you like this video, hit the like button. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. It's your boy, I'm out. Peace.